Hi, how you doing? Today we got this PS5 mainboard which have interesting features like that liquid damage, a little Freddy Krueger mark, and something happened with the HDMI port. This is the reason why it's here basically, because it's saying no signal. Now, maybe, wow, that's the lamp port. So maybe really Freddy Krueger made a visit here in Addiscombe. As you can see, the legs are, wow, it's like squeezed through. It's really hard to describe it's what happened there. At least the lamp port looks alright. We can deal with that plastic damage later. So you can see the plastic is pushed through, the legs are disconnected. Now this is the liquid damage. My wife is just cleaning up the plastic case as that one has still water inside. What we got some information is basically it was dirty, so the boys started to clean up. Let's check if we have a short here. The suspected short. No, okay, so we just filled top up our capacitors there, but it's not that short. We didn't turn on, so when we saw it was a little bit wet, we didn't turn on. But you saw that HDMI port is really bad. Alright, let's heat up, see what's going on, and hopefully that's gonna be our biggest problem, isn't it? Using the normal 500 Celsius, the usual flux. I'm not sure this is an original HDMI port, be honest. It looks like somebody replaced it, I'm not sure. If it's a replacement, then it's nothing what I sold. Can you see that plastic? Melted plastic there? So, wow. I really hope they throw out the cable which was in this port, because if the port looks like this, that cable is beyond savage. So all the little plastic is melted there. We have to clean up that nicely. Otherwise, when we try to put it back, obviously it's gonna be a problem. Also, we're missing the tiny capacitors. I always love to put that one back. Alright, clean up nicely. Now one more interesting, they requested a quick job on this one, quick turnover, because the boy has some issues and he really need the PS5. Okay, so it's not like an optional thing. Without that one they can't handle him, so alright. I tried to soldier on the port a tiny bit, just to stay on the place approximately, and basically once we heat up to place the new port, it's gonna be flying to the right place anyway. Okay, we have enough soldier. Yep, it's doing well. Port have to heat up and it looks alright. Okay, Let's test. Unfortunately, we got no signal, but at least it's turned on, so that's a good one. So I double check all the pins. Now sometimes these pins are hard to move, but they're not making a good connection. I also checked the HDMI chip, it's no short there. The filter is passing through as it should be. No cross. So yeah, everything is through peachy, it just doesn't give a signal. I'm gonna clean up. I think someone was working on this one and they use a low melt soldier, which could make tiny balls and they get between the legs. Sometimes. It's hard to tell, but I know sometimes the alcohol is showing like something is bright there, but no, it was alright. Let's take a closer look. The capacitors looks alright. The legs crusty and they are solid. I mean, really. Okay, let's heat up again. Maybe just something is not really connecting through. The monitor is check the connection, so you know, for a brief moment is wake up, but after it's going to sleep again. So let's see. So we're not gonna replace it. We can reflow an HDMI port once, but if you're doing more than once, then usually the middle part is a little bit melted and you can't plug in the HDMI cable, or when you plug in it's not making the right connection, it's not going through. Okay, so we checked again, no signal. Now on one hand, you know, we have an impatient father, a children who's waiting the PS5 back. So, and it's not a hard job, isn't it? Just replacing a PS5 HDMI port. I'm really happy the liquid damage doesn't do more damage. In that case, I would say it's definitely not gonna be ready today, but let's do another try. Oh, by the way, sometimes people ask, are we putting a PS5 or PS4 HDMI ports? Really, they are physically different, so maybe somebody do that one. We don't. We're buying from normal sellers, you know, console parts and repair outlets, so they're not dodgy, you know, not AliExpress or something. Alright, so this is the second port. Let it cool down a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Now every time when you replacing the HDMI port, you're losing some solder on the pins. So you have bigger and bigger chance that the connection is not gonna be the best. And you get the point when you have to remove all the solder, put up a new one. It's not an extra, not a hard job, but it's some extra. And I try to do this really quickly. And no signal again. Now if you're watching for this one for 10 minutes, think about that was, for me in real time, is half an hour. Alright, 45 minutes. So I checked with the HDMI tester. I can see on some points the signal is not getting through. So when I plug the HDMI port, it's just not getting through. So it must be here something. I'm doing all the same things like every other PS5, 500 Celsius, same flux. What could be the problem? I already checked the diode, it's fine. Check the capacitor, it's fine. And I had an idea. Can you see how the PCB looks like? Yeah, it's really bad. So I used a different batch from the HDMI port. This one is made in 2024. The other was 2023. You can see the batch number all the time. Okay, I wasn't really happy with this. It's not really perfectly aligned. You can see it's a little bit tilted on the right side down. So I'm gonna heat up. I can do this once more. Unfortunately, this is my last port from this new batch, the 2023. We just booked that one. So that one is, we have a lot. This is the last one from the old batch. Okay, that looks much better. Let's check the pins. So as I told you, if you switch too many times, you have less and less solder on the pins, and we have a moving pins too at the moment. Now, very funny, when you start fixing this, we're gonna do that one in a second with a solder iron. Sometimes the one what you soldered is getting a good connection, but the other one is start releasing. So I usually do multiple one at the same time. I heat them up, I start moving around. Now the small solder head, the pointy one, is good if you're working on the signals pins, but it's not really good if you're working on the ground pins, and that is not gonna make any difference. It can't even heat up. But with the signal pins, yep, absolutely, that's gonna work. So for the ground, yeah, we're using the bigger one. Unfortunately, that one, no way you can get behind the tiny capacitor, but all the other place, perfect. Now you can see the solder is coming up to the pins, so that's a good solder. And it started working. Finally. So that was a bad batch. That was never happened before with me, but yeah, I hope you learned something today. See you next time.